Hey, what is going on, everybody? Coach Justin here, the Fit Cop Dad Coach. And you might see that I'm a little sweaty. Well, just got done with a hard leg day. If you have ever had one of those leg days where you can hardly walk up your stairs afterwards or they feel a little sore, you know what I'm talking about. So, today's training is on the secret to eating healthier without spending hours in the gym. So I don't know about you, but as a cop dad, between working all my shifts, running a business, and even being a dad, like you don't want to spend 4 hours in the gym. Well, you don't want to spend 4 hours in the gym, but you don't want to spend 4 hours in the kitchen. Especially, you don't want to be like a bodybuilder or the stereotypical where you're like meal prepping the same chicken, rice, and broccoli and having 15 different Tupperwares in the fridge. So I'm going to be sharing with you the two different strategies that have helped some of my students, like Jim, who is a sergeant of over 20 years, has a couple kids, but he lost 20 pounds and felt more organized with his eating without eating the same thing every day. Or even Adam, who's lost 30 pounds in his first 3 months, but he's a dad of a kindergartner while he's also getting his doctorate. And he has a full-time job and a part-time job. So why I wanted to have this training, because what I see in the fitness space, we always talk about meal preparation all the time. And don't get me wrong, that I like to meal prep. I like to be prepared with my meal prepping, but I like to have food be a part of my life, not just run my life. Maybe that's you. Maybe that you want to eat healthier so that you can feel more energized, you can lose that spare tire gut, but you don't want to be like the bodybuilder where like your whole life is just consumed by lifting and eating. Perhaps you like to have your donuts. Perhaps you like to have your beer. So we always talk about meal prep. But then all of a sudden, like if it comes to that evening, maybe you can relate. You can put it in the comments where, sorry, it looked like my battery's getting low. But anyway, if you worked that entire 12-hour shift, and all of a sudden you get home, and then all of a sudden you ask your wife, like, hey, like, what's for dinner? And you're both fatigued, you're both drained, the kids are going insane, and it's just a lot easier to throw in a frozen pizza. It's a lot easier to just order takeout or get some fast food. So what I want to just talk about, before you meal prep, you want to meal plan. Because when you do the meal planning first, then meal prepping becomes easier. If you just meal prep without the meal plan, it's like the analogy of putting the cart before the horse. So, two different strategies I walked through with Jim and Adam as far as their meal planning and keeping it simple, because what's simple is repeatable, right? Wouldn't you agree? Like if it's too complex, if you're trying to squeeze your life into like a program or a plan that doesn't fit you, then it's not very sustainable. You might get results, but then you just put the weight back on. Ain't that very frustrating? So the first thing is with the meal planning, write out, like, start with 5. The more meals that you can do, write out 5 meals that you and your family absolutely love. Okay? So it could be, I don't know, chicken fingers. It can be pizza. It could be burgers. And the first step is to make a slightly healthier version of that. Make a slightly healthier version of that. Put that in the comments. Because here's what the mistake that people make is that we'll just take like you like McDonald's cheeseburgers. Well, now that once you're on this health and fitness journey, the people make the mistake. They go from one end of the spectrum of McDonald's cheeseburgers, and then you go to the other end. Like, what is the healthiest burger? Maybe it's like a lettuce wrap, organic, grass-fed beef, no condiments, and, you have all these veggies on it. So make a slightly healthier version. What if you go from like McDonald's cheeseburgers to what if you just make your own burgers at home, even if it's a white bun? Oh my God. Oh my God, white bread. And then what if you go from the burger that you have at home with a white bun to, well, instead of getting like a 73% lean meat, what if you get like an 80% or an 85% lean? You get a little healthier. What if then instead of a white bun, you get a whole wheat bun? Now look at all your meals and be like, well, how can you just make a slightly healthier version? You like pizza? Great. My wife and I have pizza probably about once a week. But instead of just always getting Domino's, don't tell her because she loves Domino's. But what if you get like a cauliflower crusted pizza? Now you might be like, ew, but like just before you judge it, just get it. Because I've done it to where friends have came over. I don't tell them it's cauliflower crusted. It's a supreme pizza, and they can't tell the difference. So just make a slightly healthier version of all the things. You like pasta? So white pasta, maybe whole wheat pasta. So just fatty beef you put on it, put some chicken on it or some shrimp. Instead of Alfredo sauce, maybe find a sauce that's a little less calories, marinara, pesto, things like that. So just go through all the meals that you have and make a slightly healthier version of it and plan it out. Okay, just write all this stuff like on a document that you and your wife can see. So that's strategy number 1. And then strategy number 2, now with that strategy number 1, you would just look at your calendar ahead of time, say the next week. My wife and I do this over the weekend, be like, okay, what do we want to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? And then you put in your slightly healthier version of your meals. Okay. Now the second thing that you can do is have themes for the day. So put in the comments, themes of the day. Because sometimes if you're just like, hey, like what's for dinner? It's like so many possibilities out there where your brain doesn't know where to start. Like, have you been to a restaurant where you're like, there's like 3 dozen things on the menu that look really, really good. And then you spend like 5 minutes trying to pick it out. Each time the waiter comes by, they're like, hey, are you ready? Just give me 1 more minute. Just give me 1 more minute. And then even when it's like, start with him, come to me last. Because there's so many options. Well, what if now like you kind of broke each day to a theme, and at least it narrows it. So some themes that my wife and I come up with, or even with my students, you have like a Mexican night, Asian / stir fried. You could have like a crock pot night. You could have Italian. You can have, I don't know, I think I said grilling, American, a crock pot. So come up with different themes that you like. Now here's the thing with like themes is I just say Mexican, like Taco Tuesday is very easy. You can mix it up every Tuesday, even though it's Mexican, it feels different. Just say if you had like taco shells. Well, if 1 week you had beef tacos, chicken tacos, and fish tacos. Okay, and you can even mix up the type of Mexican. Maybe 1 week you could have beef tacos. You might have like shrimp or fish taco bowls, and the next week you got like a chicken taco salad. It's all Mexican, and then by just switching out the different protein, switching out the different carb, the different veggies, it makes it feel like it's a whole different meal. Take stir fry, for instance, even Stir Friday. Get the dad joke, Stir Friday. Well, 1 week I could have beef and broccoli. Okay, and then it could be like whatever the sauce that beef and broccoli is. Next week it could be chicken, but then maybe it's like a peanut Thai sauce. The next week it could be like fish or shrimp, and then it's like Korean barbecue. So all I'm really switching out is the protein and maybe even the sauce, and it feels totally different. Maybe one week you go more rice with the stir fry. The other week maybe you go more noodles. So you can keep the same theme for each day. Then you just kind of rotate out between the protein, the different condiments, the seasonings. And it keeps it easy for you and your family because you just know like every Tuesday you're having Mexican. It narrows down the choices, like it narrows the choices on the menu. And then to keep it interesting, you just flip it out. So that way now if you take one of these two strategies, you plan ahead of time, then you can, over the weekend or on your days off, you can make a shopping list. You can go grocery shopping. And then you can stock up your refrigerator, freezer for the week. And you kind of repeat that same process. So like Friday, Saturday, my wife and I will be like, hey, like what are our meals for the next week? Make a grocery list, look in our pantry, look in our fridge, see what we need, put the order in, and we make sure that we're stocked for the week. And we just kind of repeat that cycle. Okay, so put in the comments like your biggest takeaways from this. And if you would like the exact training, so the freebie that I've mentioned in the comments that I was giving away, I went through I broke this down with my student, Jim, on a coaching call, and I can send you that video to the training so then you can get like a visual. I have my whiteboard and all that kind of stuff. So if you like that free training, just put in the comments Jim, because that's who I was on the call with, Jim, and I'll make sure I'll send you that free training. So put in the comments some of your biggest takeaways, some of your biggest implementation steps. Put in the comments Jim, J-I-M, not the G-Y-M, like going to the gym. And let me know how you can start meal planning so that it's easier for yourself and your family. Take care.